There's discussion about, is this the best offensive team ever?
The Braves have scored so many times, I don't even know what the score is. The Phillies are going back to the postseason.
We're playing very good baseball right now, and I think it's going to be a really good series.
This team is built to win.
October baseball has returned to Atlanta. The Battery is packed and a sellout crowd filing in. Yes, there are Phillies fans here. A rematch of last year's NLDS. We got it going once again here in 2023. The 2023 National League Division Series presented by Booking.com. It's the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. Game one of this best-of-5 series. Hi, everybody. We welcome you. Great to have you with us from Atlanta. It is a picture-perfect night for baseball. I'm Brian Anderson along with Jeff Francoeur. We'll hear from Matt Weiner in just a moment. This is the showdown we've all been waiting for here. Phillies, Braves out of the same division now in this best-of-5. Let's start with the Phillies, though, Jeff, because this team is coming in hot. Two-game sweep of the Miami Marlins. May have played their best two games.
Well, when you think about this team, so much to like. It starts with Bryce Harper, and last year on the postseason stage, he absolutely dominated. He was a DH because of his injury, but all he did was go on to hit .349, 6 home runs, and an 1160 OPS to lead the Phillies to the World Series. Now playing first base this year. The second half, though, BA, 18 of his 21 home runs. He is starting to heat up this whole second half to carry this offense. But we all know the two-headed monster of Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola. But because of the wild card, Ranger Suarez getting the ball tonight and it's done well against the Braves.
Ranger Suarez, 22 starts this year. He started game one against Atlanta right here in this ballpark a season ago. All right, so the Atlanta Braves, not only the best offensive team in baseball this season, Jeff, they might be arguably the best offensive team we have ever seen in the history of the game.
Well, and it starts with a possible MVP at the leadoff, Ronald Acuna Jr. He's done everything this year. First 40-70 season in the history of baseball. Then you move over to first base, and Matt Olson set the home run and the franchise records. And, of course, tonight's starter, Spencer Strider, broke John Smoltz's record for strikeouts at 281. And we all know the home runs. 307 home runs, tied the 2019 Twins. This team slugs. It's going to be a great series.
Well, can they continue their hitting ways? Acuna, the likely MVP, big names everywhere. One of those standing by with Matt Weiner. He's with Austin Riley. Hi, Matt.
Austin, you and I spoke about the randomness of the postseason yesterday. We all know anything is possible. So as we get ready to ramp this thing up, what are you certain of today?
Just the confidence in this team, the preparation that we've done over the last 4 or 5 days and throughout the season. I trust every single one of those guys in there. So just our group, readiness and looking forward to a great series.
Good luck today.
Yeah, thank you.
Time to get it going from Atlanta. Game one of the NLDS, and the first pitch comes after the break.
Made easy, and by Jeep, there's only one. Little touch of fall in the air here at Truist Park in Atlanta, making our way to first pitch. Moments ago, Matt Weiner standing by with Bryson Stott of the Phillies.
Bryson, deja vu here, right? Same situation as last year, and obviously you're looking for the same results. What needs to happen to make that happen?
Yeah, just got to play our game, take our good at-bats, and our pitchers are going to do what they do and make plays behind them. And like I said, have good at-bats and pass it to the next guy.
Have fun tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And he's already having some fun. Had a huge grand slam, one of the stars of that two-game wild card series. And another bat spike from the Phillies. Rhys Hoskins last year, who's still out with an ACL injury. Bryson Stott in game two of the wild card series. The Phillies making their way onto the field. The Braves behind Spencer Strider on the field. Let's check that batting order. Turned in by Rob Thompson, second-year skipper. He's got Kyle Schwarber, a major home run threat, especially to start innings and games. Trey Turner, then Bryce Harper. In the middle, it's Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, and JT Realmuto. Nick Castellanos, Brandon Marsh, and Johan Rojas. They have a couple of go-getters in left field and center field. And Jeff, it is Spencer Strider. Probably won't win the Cy Young Award, but he'll be right up there near Blake Snell, a 20-game winner this year and a strikeout machine this season.
Yeah, you see that, BA, 281. And talking to JT Realmuto, he said, look, you know what you're going to get from him. High-velocity fastballs, but you try to cheat that, he will throw that slider, one of the best whip rates on the slider in baseball. And catching him will be the newcomer from the A's, Sean Murphy, the Gold Glover, Austin Riley at third, Orlando Arce at short, Ozzie Albies at first, and the franchise leader in home runs and RBIs, Matt Olson at first. And going around, Pilar getting the start in left field with the lefty on the mound, Michael Harris the second, center field, and Ronald Acuna Jr. in right field to round it out for the Braves.
There is Brian O'Nora. He'll call the balls and strikes. His 7th division series. Ben May, the Wisconsin native, over at first base. Mark Carlson is the crew chief. He's out at second. David Rackley, Chris Guccione, and Ramon De Jesus. Remember, 6-man umpiring crew in the postseason. Congratulations to those gentlemen and all of those umpires who have gotten the postseason assignments. Big feather in the cap for them as well. Kyle Schwarber ready to lead off. He's the designated hitter. Live wire crowd here at Truist Park. There will be a live wire crowd at Citizens Bank Park as well in Philadelphia. And a great series ahead of us. Great to have all of you with us. Spencer Strider, he's ready to go. Brian O'Nora says play ball. And game 1 of the NLDS is underway. And Schwarber wraps one into right center field. That is going to be off the wall. Over to make the play is Harris. He'll fire it in. And the Phillies come out banging. A double from Kyle Schwarber. And already pressure on Strider and the Braves.
Well, it's interesting because you always wonder, what do you throw first pitch of the game? Schwarber has trouble on Strider's slider. But BA, it's first pitch of the game, right? I throw 99. Well, Schwarber does what he does best, and that's hit for power.
Any elevation at all, that is going to fly way out of here. Instead, it's a double Turner on that first pitch. Trey Turner pops it foul and out of play. So it's an ongoing theme in this game 1 for sure. But the fact that the Phillies swept the wild card series, played 2 terrific games in every facet of the game. They come rolling in here with good vibes, good momentum. The Braves have not played a game since the final regular season game. They've known they're going to win the division going away and even finish with the best record in all of baseball going away. So they're trying to generate some momentum quick after they've been sitting for 6 days. Strider has Turner 0-2.
That was interesting. Last year, Braves a 2 seed, the Dodgers a 1. They both kind of played inter-squad games a little bit, you know, but not like both teams did this offseason or this 5-day stretch.
And that's going to have more on that a little bit later. As Turner on the ground, Schwarber takes off, got to play at third, and Arce's throw is in time. Good peg to third base. A risky move by Schwarber. And the first out of the ball game is a 6-5 putout.
Well, it's a ball that Turner did not hit hard. And if you have Turner or some Bryson Stott, one of those speedsters running, maybe not a bad play, but for Schwarber, as you can see, Riley gets him. Huge break for the Atlanta Braves there.
Pump of the fist from Strider. Now, Trey Turner is one of the most accomplished base stealers in the game. Was 30 for 30 this year in the regular season. Had 2 more in the wild card. Is Bryce Harper with a cut and a miss. You know when Harper's at the plate. He has had great numbers in his career against Atlanta. He has great numbers against the Braves last season. In the postseason in this division series round. They don't give out MVPs for the division series, but he probably would have won one.
Yeah, walking away. Interesting so far. All 3 Phillies hitters have swung at the first pitch.
Strider, one of the great strikeout pitchers in the game. In the dirt, on his way to second goes Turner. Throw down is late. Something the Phillies have worked on a lot over the last few weeks and going into the postseason, those dirt ball reads won't just show up in the stolen bases, Jeff, but how they go first to third, how they try to score from first, all those little areas to put pressure on the defense.
And that's the word pressure. Rob Thompson told us today, everything we do is about pressure. Even if it's just the thought of going, it puts it in that other guy's mind.
So Turner replaces Schwarber at second base. And that's a better outcome for the Phillies. I'm sure Schwarber had that in mind when he went to third, right?
I'm going to switch.
He'll get here eventually.
Back.
Two balls and a strike to count. And Harper on the ground. Arcia was toward the hole, going to take a tough play. Jump throw, not in time. That'll be an infield hit. Phillies quiet down this packed house at Truist Park quickly in this first inning. Infield hit for Harper.
Well, Arcia's had a great year over at short and one of the strongest arms, but with Harper's speed and where this ball was hit, you can see Matt Olson smart to come off the bag and make sure he kept the ball in front of him.
2 hits, first 3 batters. The double by Schwarber, now an infield single. And here's Alec Bohm. Bohm coming off a 20-homer, 97 RBI season. Did drive in a run in the wild card series. And while the Braves have this venerable lineup here, the Phillies, they can match Atlanta in a lot of those areas in their batting order. They've got big names who have delivered in the postseason. The reigning National League champions from a year ago, and a ground ball. Got a chance for 2. Got to go quick. Albies to Arcia. Throw to first in time. Strider gets a double play ball to get out of the inning. Albies to Arcia to Olson, and now the Braves coming up. Ronald Acuna making his way to home plate, and on the mound for the Phillies, the same guy who started game 1 of last year's DS, Ranger Suarez, Jeff.
Well, and he can draw from a lot of experience against the Braves. Last postseason in particular, 2-0 with a 1.23 in 5 appearances, 3 starts. But you see that 22 starts, BA. He has been in and out of the injured list twice this year, but says he feels healthy. Interesting enough, we'll talk about as the game goes on, he's improved that curveball big time this year, and that's a way to keep the Braves from slugging on your fastball.
You always have to watch Acuna on that first pitch. He lets it fly, gets jammed. Stott comes in to make the play, a close play at first. So a very similar game plan for these 2 leadoff hitters, both Kyle Schwarber and Ronald Acuna. Let it fly on the first pitch. Acuna retired 4-3.
Well, smart pitch by Suarez here. You saw what Schwarber did to a fastball, so he came with a cutter right there, and you could tell got Ronald to kind of jam himself.
Austin Riley, a little bit of a change in the Braves batting order. We'll give you that batting order because it is newsworthy. And the first bit of news is the fact that Ozzie Albies drops down to the cleanup spot, Jeff, and Austin Riley is hitting second. And Brian Snitker has a reason for these changes, and it has to do with the Phillies bullpen, I guess, huh?
Well, they got 2 of the best lefties down there, and Alvarado and Soto, as you see the Braves lineup here, how they switched it. Usually you're going to see Acuna, and then you're going to see Albies, then Riley, then Olson. Well, they wanted if they're going to come in and throw these lefties, you see a pitch in there to Matt Olson, which you figure after looking at his numbers this year, that's going to be a game plan. They want Ozzie Albies from the right side, which he's one of the best, and then, of course, Marcell Ozuna to follow. Interesting move. You don't see that too much in the postseason.
And especially with the Braves. So let me put this out there early in this series, okay? This is a lineup, maybe more than any other lineup and any other manager in the game, uses the same basic lineup every single day. And now you open up a postseason, and Brian Snitker changes his lineup a little bit to meet the requirements of the opponent. Very interesting move here to start.
And I like it because I asked a lot of different guys, mostly former players, about this, and they had two literally right down the middle reactions. Some said, I don't like it at all. You've slugged all year, why not? And I have some that say, hey, I love it. You got the best three hitters hitting 1, 2, 3.
Riley fouls one away. This Braves team not only tied the home run record, as Jeff pointed out in the open, with a home run on the final day of the year by Marcell Ozuna, 307 homers. But they are also a team that set the record for slugging percentage. A team slugging percentage over 500. Riley, like Acuna, does some of his best work in the first inning, and down he goes. Suarez carves him up. Sinker from Suarez, and he picks up his first strikeout, and the first two are retired.
Well, what a pitch here. After some of those off speed, you see that one kind of a little tail back right over the zone for Suarez. And that's something that's interesting because you look in the Braves, if you dig into the numbers, really hit lefties well, B.A. Suarez, though, has done a good job because of that slow curveball. He keeps these Braves hitters from really attacking that fastball.
Here's Matt Olson. He swings at the first pitch. Same pitch, that sinking fastball. What a year for Matt Olson. 54 homers, 139 RBIs. That led baseball both categories. And yet, I'm not going to say he's an afterthought for MVP, but he's not exactly on the top board right now. He's going to get votes, but feels like an Acuna, Betts, Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson. Hard to find a year like that you weren't an MVP. That's a lazy little fly ball. And Rojas puts it away. Good start for Rangers, Suarez, and the Phillies. No score. Spencer Strider back on the mound. We go to the second inning, game one. Brand new here for the MLB postseason. You can get into the game with Max and the Bleacher Report Sports add-on. It's on us, mostly Frenchie, for a limited time. After the promo period, it'll be $9.99 to a Max base plan. Great to be streaming on Max. Game one of this National League Division Series. Spencer Strider back on the mound. Some harsh shadows pouring in here as the sun sets.
Well, I was going to say, I know the players worried about the shadows. I had no idea that the two announcers were going to struggle to see up here.
Yeah, we are wearing it right now, right in the old eye hole.
Gosh.
Bryson Stott coming off the grand slam in game two of that wild card series. A swing and a miss. Strider gassing it up like the number on his back. 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Fantastic year for Stott. Changed his game and how he attacks fastballs this season. He's going to see him against Strider as a fastball misses.
What a huge double play for Spencer Strider to end that inning. We talk about postseason. It's all about momentum at certain times, but to get out of that inning after giving up 2 hits without any runs was huge.
It was an 11-pitch inning with all kind of traffic for Strider. Those early swings by the Phillies started with a double. Harper had an infield hit, but Bohm with that 4-6-3 double play, beautifully turned by a great keystone combination out there in Albies and Arcia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See what Strider has in mind here. And another fastball. Stott chased it but fouls it away.
You can see that one changeup, which that's Spencer Strider's 3rd pitch. He's going to mix that in every once in a while, but majority of the time fastball and slider.
JT Realmuto to follow, then Castellanos. Strider's 2nd postseason appearance. Last one came against the Phillies last year, and he strikes out Stott. 7-pitch battle ends in a K, and Strider, the strikeout king this year, has his first strikeout of the game.
You know, you wonder what it's like facing a fastball like that. JT Realmuto, one of my favorite players in baseball, talking to him yesterday, he said, I have faced Spencer Strider so many times now, and that fastball still just gets on you, and it's so tough to time up.
Realmuto with a homer in the wild card series, had 3 hits. One of the most durable catchers in the game, especially over the last 2 years. He is their leader, their captain. Strider had a rough start in the postseason a year ago, game 3 in Philly. But he was also compromised a little bit, Jeff. He was coming back from an oblique injury. Wasn't at his best. The plan was for him to only go maybe 3 innings max anyway. Much different story throughout his regular season starts against the Phillies. Up high and tight to hit him. Yeah, Realmuto that scraped his knuckle, and a hit batter will put a runner at first base. It was a glancing blow, but it got him on the hand.
Yeah, you can see that, right? Right up the top.
Good look at it right there. So hits him on a 2-strike pitch. Realmuto taking a little extra time, going with the oven mitt. Realmuto's a guy who can run. He is a catcher, but he can run. And the running game could be big in this series and in all the postseason series. The larger bases this season. Only 3 occasions where you can throw over. The disengagement rule. Stolen bases were way up. Caught stealings were down this year. Running is back in the game once again.
Yeah, you know, you talk about Strider back to last year. He started 6 up and 6 down in that game. Problem was, the Phillies, it happened so quick, and that offense can do it to you. But it was like before they could get someone warmed up, there's that slider long away that you see him go. But before they could get someone warmed up, it kind of just spiraled out of control. And that's the one advantage. Both these offenses, when you look at all the teams in the playoffs, might be the most 2 offenses that can put a 4 spot on you the quickest.
It can go fast, as Strider found out last year. It's been a much different story for Strider in his regular season games and starts against the Philadelphia Phillies. He went 4-0 this year in his 4 starts. He won every one of them. A 2.42 ERA. It was even better a season ago. There goes Realmuto. Throw down to second base. Belly flop. He's out at second. Great throw from Sean Murphy. Albies let that throw travel. Quick pop tag on him. And right away, Murphy cuts down a would-be base stealer. No challenge here. Gold Glove catcher maybe curtailing the running game early.
Well, Sean Murphy, great defense. We talk about his Gold Glove back in Oakland, and he put this. Realmuto didn't get a bad jump, BA, but this throw happened to be in the perfect spot to get Realmuto.
2 outs now. 2-1 to count to Castellanos. High fly ball into right center. Going to hang up there. Acuna will make the call and the catch. And an early play defensively, with the running game going wild this year. Murphy cuts down Realmuto. Great tag from Albies. Braves coming up bottom second.
Scoreless here in the bottom of the second in Atlanta. Game 1 between the Phillies and Braves. Atlanta had a better regular season and coming to the NLDS healthier than last year, but the schedule is identical. 5 days off before Game 1 with the same opponent, the Phillies. Last year the team filled that time about the way you would expect, with practice, batting practice, fielding practice, bullpen sessions. This year was a much different approach, with 3 live intra-squad games that got the competitive juices flowing. The idea came from bench coach Walt Weiss, who was with the A's during the 1989 World Series, which, as you know, was interrupted by an earthquake. Weiss remembered Oakland manager Tony La Russa taking the team to Arizona to stay sharp during the week and a half between games. 34 years later, Brian Snitker calls the approach perfect. Austin Riley said unlike last year when he felt like he was dusting off the cobwebs before the Phillies series, the live work with fans here in the stands felt like real baseball, and the game speed kept his tempo out. Guys, it turns out the competitive scrimmages also changed this postseason roster. Snitker told us today that right-handed reliever Daysbel Hernandez made this team thanks to impressive outings on Wednesday and Thursday. Hernandez has just 4 big league appearances under his belt, but was a strikeout machine in the minors, and just as importantly, the Phillies have never faced him.
Good stuff. And Matt kind of left it there on a tee, but from one Philly sports icon, we're talking about practice.
Yeah, talking Allen Iverson.
We're talking practice.
Practice don't mean anything.
Practice did mean something for the Braves, I guess. Good stuff, Matt. And it was interesting to see how the Braves would do it this year as Albies draws the walk. Good start for the Braves to this second inning. Albies bumping down into that cleanup spot and hitting number 2 most of the year.
Well, it's interesting because I told you I was talking to Dave Roberts a couple weeks ago, BA, and he said the same thing. Last year we just did batting practice, did this. We lost the edge. We lost the intensity. And that's the word Austin Riley used talking to us yesterday. He said intensity. We needed some intensity. And again, you're facing your buddies like that. What were we told? That the hitters dominated the bullpen, yes. And Rick Kranitz apparently wasn't too happy.
Yeah, the Braves pitching staff, especially their coaches, and especially their pitching coach, Rick Kranitz, have been in a full sports psychology session the last 2 days, trying to get their pitchers who had to face this daunted lineup back in place. Ozuna coming off a monster year. He's got Albies at first. We'll see if Albies wants to push the envelope with the running game. Real Muto is one of the great throwers in the game behind the plate. And Ozuna down the right field line, slicing foul.
Yeah, Real Muto, best pop time in the game. So it's going to be interesting to see, and with the lefty on the mound. Go back to Ranger Suarez, the pitch before that slow curveball, and you saw him get Marcell Ozuna out. That's what he can do. That pitch for him, PA, I thought was going to be the biggest pitch for him today because it takes away some of the slug for this Braves lineup.
Now, most opposing managers avoid lefties against the Braves. Rob Thompson does not. He believes in Ranger Suarez. Suarez missed 3 weeks in August with a hamstring injury, so still in kind of a ramp-up mode. His last 5 starts weren't great, an ERA over 5. But Thompson feels like he's made for this kind of moment, and that one just missed. Suarez was walking. Brian O'Nora, a little hitch in the giddy-up right there. 2-2 the count. Close pitch.
That's a pretty darn good pitch. Tough one to take, and it does. The way O'Nora gets up, it looks like he was going to ring him up.
2-2 now, and a check on Albies.
And look, if you're the Phillies, too, to have Suarez pitch on the road, it's kind of what you want. 2.75 ERA away from Citizens Bank Park this year. 5.45 up in Philly.
Yeah, been good on the road. He was great in the postseason last year. And a foul ball by Ozuna. Suarez had an elbow strain earlier in the season. So Ranger pitched in the WBC for Venezuela. And then had a tender elbow, returned in May, missed 6 weeks. And then that hamstring injury late. So really, start and stop season for him. Bit of inconsistency, but mostly because of the injuries. Ozuna out in front. There's that curveball. Stott will settle under it in the grass, and there is out number 1 of this second inning. Hey, wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. You can check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, tees, and more. Root for your favorite team at MLBshop.com.
With that curveball for Suarez right there. Opponents hitting 143 with only a 226 slug. BA.
There's a strike to Michael Harris, the second. Mostly been the number 9 hitter and one of the most dominant number 9 hitters ever. That 9 position in the Braves lineup was tremendous this year. But Harris elevated, hitting 6th in this current design of the lineup. And again, it all has to do with the Phillies bullpen makeup with so many power lefties they can call on. Would have been the same had the Marlins advanced in the wild card series to play the Braves with all their lefties.
And what did Rob Thompson tell us? They had 7 left-handers on the
including
wild
their starters.
card.
Yeah, 5 in their pen.
Yeah.
And so for Brian Snitker, they kind of knew they were going this way no matter who they faced in this particular round, whether it was the Phillies or the Marlins. Snap throw over. Second disengagement. So you get 3. Just a refresher on the rules if you haven't been watching all year. You get 3 now, but you have to get an out on the 3rd or else it's a balk.
You know, it's interesting. We talk about both these teams with so much power, guys with home runs galore, and we've already second inning. We're seeing the stolen base play a huge part already.
And the defense of the stolen base. Yeah. It has been an emphasis for both teams. There goes Albies. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. The tag not in time. Albies called safe. Trey Turner is convinced he is out. He is walking off the field. The Phillies will look at this and they will in fact challenge this. So a bang play at second base. Here's the crew chief, Mark Carlson. He was the calling umpire.
Philadelphia is challenging the safe call at second base.
I tell you, when we first saw it, it looked like Albies might have beat it, but if he doesn't, it's going to come down to the slap tag by Turner.
Replay review powered by Zoom. That's the replay room at the Rock in New York City. We've got a lot of eyes on that, and then you can tell exactly on the big frame. They have multiple feeds, but on the big frame what they're looking at, and because he was called safe on the field, the question is clear and convincing evidence to overturn. Ooh, close one.
So tough these days because of the oven mitts everybody wears.
Wow. Yeah, Robbie Thompson initially thought it was an out.
If he does get called out here, all of a sudden we're going to have 2 of the first 3 stolen bases out.
Yep.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Wow, and Albies can't believe it either, but that's a big call, and it looked like the right call. It was bang.
Now,
but enough to overturn.
Murphy and Realmuto showing right away. They're ready.
Caught stealings showing up early. Both catchers have one in the early going of this game 1.
Realmuto here, very next half inning. You saw the other one, the second one right here, last inning. Ozzie Albies, good jump, but Realmuto with a perfect throw. If he slides to the outside of the bag, maybe he gets it, but again, running game already huge.
Well, they measure the pop time from the time the catcher catches the pitch to the time the infielder catches his throw, and JT Realmuto is the best in baseball. It's a little over 1.8 seconds, and he gave you a good glimpse at that throwing arm. And of course, Murphy's a Gold Glove catcher. It is a phenomenal matchup in just about every position, including the catching position. Brandon Marsh leads away for the Phillies. 2 balls, a strike to count. As we start this 3rd inning, Johan Rojas to follow, number 9 hitter, and then Kyle Schwarber. 8, 9, and 1 coming up. From the Buford, Georgia born Brandon Marsh, grew up about 30 miles from Atlanta. Always has a heavy pass list.
It's where my kids go.
He did say he was a Jeff Francoeur fan when he was a young man. I asked him not to say that loud. He said Andrew Jones was his favorite player.
Well,
and he threw out the first pitch today, and then he, under his breath, said, also Jeff Francoeur. There he is, the great Andrew Jones.
Give Marcius, he's got one of the best beards in the game going.
He does. Here's 2-2 now, and a swing and a miss. Strider with the slider, and he picks up his second strikeout.
Well, it's so tough when you're sitting there seeing 98, 99. You speed up, and when you speed up, this is what happens. You're susceptible to low, and of course, Spencer Strider, one of the better sliders in baseball, too.
No singular pitch got more swings and misses than Strider's slider. First ball swinging, big bouncer by Rojas over to Riley, and the rookie Rojas is retired. Rojas making the big jump from Double-A to not just the big leagues, but a mainstay in center field now. He was going to get that bat over quick. 2 up, 2 down here for Strider.
Yeah, he was wasting no time. He was looking for the first pitch that was around the zone and hard and going after it, just like this guy did last time in Schwarber. Now let's see, is this a slider or does he come back fastball?
Is he thinking what I'm thinking, what you're thinking? First pitch fastball, he turned around into the gap in right center. Strider goes right at him with a fastball, but off the plate. Schwarber's had some big moments in the postseason. 15 career postseason home runs. Won a World Series, of course, with the Cubs in 16. Remember, he was out all year. Had a major knee injury and surgery, but did come back for the postseason in 16, and especially in the World Series.
Now, Schwarber, tell you, got off to a rough start this year for him. The month of April was not good. Slowly came along in May. Hit 736 OPS in the first half, 918 in the second half, though. Kind of like the rest of the Phillies have come on.
Roll over ground ball, Albies. And Strider has a 1-2-3 inning in the third with another K. He's got a couple of strikeouts. His best inning yet. 2.5 in the books. Braves coming up. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook during the postseason. Bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code HEAT. To the bottom of the third on a beautiful night for baseball in Atlanta. Game 1 of this best-of-5 National League Division Series between division rivals. Phillies, Braves. Orlando Arcia will lead off. A strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the last inning. Both catchers have caught would-be base stealers early in this game. Arcia, Murphy, and Kevin Pillar coming up here. 7, 8, 9, and Ranger Suarez with that big breaking ball gets a swing and a miss from Arcia. He's actually made his curveball better this season on both planes. More vertical break, more horizontal break, and the batting average against it, Jeff, a lot lower than what he has seen in the past. Not necessarily a swing and miss or strikeout pitcher, but he can miss the barrel quite often.
That's exactly what it is. It's more than the average. It's a slug. The slug for him. He had a 2.7 inches vertical break on that pitch, and there you go right there. And then the horizontal, he added 1.6. So it might not seem like a lot, but it's got missed a lot of bats.
He's got 3 Ks already. Moments ago between innings, Rob Thompson with Matt Weiner.
Rob, it is 2023, and we are running out here. How much of this do you expect the rest of the way?
Yeah, it depends on the situation and what our pop times are on the pitcher and the catcher. We're not gonna be silly about it, but you know, we want to create some pressure.
Ranger Suarez has had an up and down season because of injuries. What have you seen so far?
Outstanding stuff. You know, he walked the leadoff hitter in the second inning, but other than that, the breaking ball's been good. He's throwing his changeup, he's locating his fastball, and he's mixing it up. So it's good.
Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Well, I love what Rob Thompson was just saying, throwing the breaking ball well, and that's exactly the pitch that you felt like when you looked at the numbers could keep this Braves team from slugging like they want to do.
Murphy breaks his bat. A couple of hops out to Trey Turner, who slings it across to Harper for out number 2. So that curveball for Ranger Suarez, the batting average against dropped over 100 points from last year to this, 250 to 143. The slug you're talking about dropped from 479 last year, which is still good, to 226 slugging average against that particular pitch. And that's not the only pitch that he breaks out, especially against a heavy hitting right-handed lineup like the Atlanta Braves. He works to the corners. He works up and down. And he's the right guy for this start, even though the Braves destroy left-handed pitching generally.
You go back and look at, he has 16 appearances versus the Braves in his career, 2-2 with the 3. And again, this is a team that crushes left-handed pitching. So you sit there and you look, how do you do it? Well, if you throw hard and all you have is a fastball, maybe a cutter, slider, eventually the right-handed hitters are going to cheat, open up. Because of that slow curveball, you can't commit to that.
See what he does here. 1-1. Kevin Pillar. Now, because Suarez is starting game 1, Kevin Pillar is starting game 1. That is a platoon in left field, similar to the Phillies left-right platoon in left field. Eddie Rosario and Kevin Pillar man those duties. And so Pillar gets his game 1 start. And that one swung on and missed. Fastball from Suarez, 2-2 the count.
And you can see, not going to throw hard. 92 with the sinker, 94 with the fastball, but you're seeing a lot of late swings on that pitch because of respect for the other pitches.
2-2 with 2 outs, and he got him. The curveball again. It's a theme early. He's only had 1 base runner. It was wiped out with a caught stealing. Rangers face the minimum. League Division Series is presented by Booking.com. Some of the biggest names in the game, the Phillies and the Braves, in a showdown here in a best-of-5 series. These rivals from the NL East. Braves won the division by 14 games over the Phillies. But both teams have been at the top of the heap really since late June. The Braves have played that way all year. Phillies kind of got their season turned around right about the time this guy got his season turned around in early August, thanks to a little brotherly love from the fans in Philadelphia. Trey Turner takes a fastball for a strike.
Which was great. Rob Thompson said, I never thought I'd see that. But they did. They hooked him up. Those fans got behind him, and all he did was go off for the last 2 months.
Instead of booing him, gave him a big ovation when he was struggling at the plate. He was surprised by it. Trey Turner. It's been well chronicled at this point, but it had a major effect not only on Turner himself, but the rest of this team. As Rob Thompson said, a really connected group anyway. But once they kind of felt like they were all in together with the fans, a different kind of finish for them. Arcia takes care of his shortstop mate. Turner is retired. 1 away in the 4th. And a moment ago, Matt Weiner with Brian Snitker.
Well, Snit, this is the Spencer Strider you've seen all season long. How good's he been so far?
I think he's great. I mean, he's had the week off. He's healthy. I knew he was excited about getting out there. It looks really good so far.
Really no hard contact so far against Rangers. Suarez, he's crafty out there. What would you like to see?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just he's changing speeds really well. So he's using his changeup and his breaking ball, moving his fastball in and out. And you know what? We just got to stay on the attack, and when we get something, get a good decision.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think he's happy, got to be happy with what he's seen from Spencer Strider so far. You go really to both teams outside of Kyle Schwarber on the first pitch of the game. We haven't seen hard contact, either team.
That ball was 110 off the bat. Nothing on the barrel since. Strider did have first and third with 1 out in that first inning, though, but a double play. Phillies let an opportunity go by early. Looks like Strider settling in now as he faces Bryce Harper. Harper with an infield single in the first. 2 balls and a strike. And Harper with a big swing. That one had some tail on it. It's called a 4-seamer on StatCast, but it definitely has some run. Harper never leaves the box, always ready to hit. 2-2, and that one misses. Not by much. Good take on a slider. A lot of hitters swing at that pitch. That's the one that starts as a strike. It ends up as a ball. Strider's first 3-ball count of the game. And Harper draws the walk. on base for the second time, and the Phillies with a base runner with one out.
Well, that's one thing Bryce is so good at, is being disciplined, not going too much outside of the zone. You go back during the season, he's only seen 40.5% of pitches be in the strike zone. Lowest, of course, in all of baseball.
Now the Tommy John surgery on that elbow. He wears that protective brace to run the bases here. Also has great speed still. As Bohm, a swing and a miss. Nasty slider from Spencer Strider.
When you see a swing like that, you know right there that hitter's committed. He's looking for that fastball to go out and get. And so if he can throw that slider exactly in that spot, you get a swing and miss majority of the time.
One out, 0-2 the count with Harper at first. And Bohm swings and misses. Down he goes. Strider back to that breaking ball. He picks up his third K.
Again, look where this pitch starts. It starts on the outside part of the zone and goes across the white line, and that's a good hitter. And Bohm getting a swing like that.
I'll take you back to the take by Harper. I know he's on the other side of the plate, but that slider that just missed to get to a 3-ball count, he draws the walk. Bohm, more of a free swinger.
There's only a few guys that can take that pitch, and there's a reason why Bryce got paid what he did and why he is the player that he is. Guys that swing at that pitch are now sitting next to you in the booth.
Is that why you swung at all those first pitches? Yep. Bryson Stott now, and he swings and fouls one away. Jeff Francoeur, a former Philly and a former Brave. I mean, you played for half the teams in baseball, so we're pretty much covered every postseason. But
hey, 8, okay.
It's great to be with you again, my friend, for postseason baseball. Bob Costas, Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi will have the second of our National League Division Series doubleheader. They'll be in Los Angeles for Diamondbacks Dodgers.
Yeah, when we go to Philly, I'm going to get you a cheesesteak from the clubhouse, man. Best cheesesteaks in the visiting clubhouse.
0-2 the count, 2 outs. Bryson Stott. Bryce Harper takes off. Stott spoils one foul.
Well, and you heard Rob Thompson last inning tell Matt Weiner, we're not going to be stupid. We're not going to run in and out. Well, that's a perfect time to go right there. You got a hitter who's 0-2. If for some reason you do get thrown out, you give him a brand new count. And if Bryce is able to get there, look, even a bloop, you have a run.
Oh, and Strider throws it away, throws it into the seats. So a quick release by Strider, trying to catch Bryce Harper off guard. That'll be an error. An E1. So again, no stolen bases, but 2 caught stealing and an error. The running game is a factor here early in this postseason.
Well, Matt Olson 6'5", and if you throw it over his head, you're airmailing it. And I think you're seeing Rob Thompson come out wondering why Harper is not going to third base here.
Strider committed just 3 errors during the regular year. 1 from the mound, 2 from the field. Is always the rule. Maybe Rob Thompson is asking if he stepped off, which would make him a fielder. I'm not sure, but we'll see if they got all 6 of them in there to work it out.
Got to figure 6 minds like that. They got to get it right.
So the crew chief Mark Carlson leaning in here. And now Brian O'Nora gets to go deliver the message to Rob Thompson, who already knows the answer. Just wanted to make sure they're paying attention.
Yeah. And maybe also, you know, we talked at certain times too. If you get a chance for Stott to regroup for a second, give him an extra 30 seconds just to kind of catch his breath with this pitch clock now in these postseason big moments like that. You only have 1 timeout to use.
Correction, Spencer Strider did not have an error in the regular season, so his first of the year. Phillies a runner at second, the 0-2 to Stott, and a line drive to left down. Harper got a great jump with 2 outs. Pilar's throw to the plate comes in on a hop, safe. Harper scores. Bryson Stott delivers the first run of the game. A 2-strike, 2-out RBI single, and the Phillies strike first in game 1.
Yeah, you said it. Pilar made a good throw here. Got a nice one hop, but because of 2 outs and 2 strikes, look, Harper obviously still a great athlete, scores easy. And that's why he tried to steal the time before. The threat of the steal again. Got a ball to the thrown away, got him in scoring position.
1-0 Phillies. Here's JT Realmuto now. Swing and a miss. Fastball right down the middle. Realmuto hit by a 2-strike pitch his last time up. Strider grazed him right across the knuckles on his left hand. And there goes Stott. Realmuto lets him run. Throw to second. No chance. Stott got a great jump. And as Rob Thompson said, if the math works out, the time to the plate, the time for the catcher to get it to second, those are the pieces they add together. Stott steals it easily.
Well, that one's on Strider because Stott, I mean, he got a run and jump right there to get into scoring position. You think about it, Stott threw the knockout punch against the Marlins with that grand slam and now opens the scoring in this NLDS.
25-year-old second baseman. Looks like he's made for the big moments early in his career. There's a strike to Realmuto. Another big fastball from Strider. And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 away.
Give Stott credit. He cut his swing down. Strider was blowing those balls by him, and he made a nice adjustment.
The 1-2 outside, missed badly. Nice play back there by Murphy. Strider issued a 1-out walk. His error on a pickoff sent Harper to second, who scores on the base hit. Realmuto, a swing and a miss. Strider blows him away with a fastball. Inning is over. Strider picks up 2 Ks, but the Phillies strike first. And it is Bryson Stott who has arrived in this postseason. Already 5 RBIs. 1-0 Phils.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. This is what you're seeing if you're a Braves hitter. You see the 4-seamer up top, and all of a sudden, that's the curveball. You see the break at the bottom part of the zone, and that's how you keep slug north to south. That's a 15 to 16 mile per hour difference in those 2 pitches. And you saw the first time around, Braves hitters were going after that curveball.
Using that curveball as a bit of a change of pace with the velocity. Acuna out to Turner, and Turner makes the play for out number 1. Ronald Acuna is retired, and Ranger Suarez has faced the minimum. Now the Phillies have a lead. It was a 2-out RBI single by Bryson Stott. Ranger Suarez was terrific in the postseason last year. His worst outing was his start in game 1 of the division series against Atlanta, but that wasn't that poor of an outing either. He did have 5 walks, and it was a short start. But remember, he was excellent for them, whether he started games or coming out of the bullpen. Finished off the Padres in the NLCS. He was excellent in the World Series against the Houston Astros. Pitched game 3, went 5 scoreless in that game against Houston, a very talented offensive team. Austin Riley into left field. And Brandon Marsh will put that one away. 2 quick outs for Ranger Suarez.
So now you say, so how do the Braves hitters adjust? What do they have to do? We talk all the time, BA, about the dumb down approach, about shooting the ball up the middle, not trying to get big. Look, this Braves team we talked about in the open, they tied the record with the Twins for home runs, but they also hit 276 this year, which led all of baseball. So to me, you got to start working singles, work the ball the other way up the middle, and let the slug come.
Matt Olson, first pitch swing into the net. He was late on it. And so all of that, what you said about the curveball, the cutter, to get a sinking fastball at 92 miles an hour by Matt Olson on the first pitch when he's waiting for it, tells you what you need to know about Ranger Suarez.
Well, again, you get to the postseason, and, every guy wants to hit that big home run. They want to get, the team off to a good start. Truist Park is packed and rocking. sometimes, again, as an offense, you got to have the team approach here. Think singles and let the big stuff come.
1 ball, 1 strike, and that one's in there. Suarez with the sinking fastball to get it to a 1-2 count. Suarez gave up 10 earned runs in his last 2 starts of the season. Shaky coming in. His last start was September 27th, so this is 9 days between starts. He was available in the bullpen in the wild card series, and he might end up in the bullpen eventually, but Phillies searching for that number 3 starter. Might have found it as Olsen just shortens up, slaps one into left field, a base hit. And the first hit of the game for Atlanta. Much needed hit for the Braves here with 2 outs in the 4th.
Well, there's the dumb down approach we talk about. Look, if you try to get big on him there, you might swing over, it might ground out. He let it get deep. Matt Olson not only hit for power this year, hit for average. And here was a perfect example. Takes one the other way and passes the baton. A lot like Harper's hit there back in the 1st inning.
That immediately gets the bullpen active as Albies, a wave and a miss, had his mind made up. Sees a curveball. There's Jeff Hoffman. It'll be a quick hook for Rob Thompson. Hoping to get 2 passes through the batting order. But knowing how this Braves team can jumpstart their offense. Another one in the dirt. Nice block by Real Muto.
Man, Rob Thompson was honest with us down there. He said because of the off day tomorrow where the AL's playing 2 in a row, I can use my whole bullpen. I can use them really this whole series. So he said guys like Alvarado, Hoffman, we figure to see them in this series probably every game.
And what a bullpen it is for the Phillies. That is a strength of theirs. Suarez deals a swing and a foul. They've kind of put those pieces together now with Jose Alvarado. You got Craig Kimbrell, Soto, these big power lefties too. Change the complexion of how the opposing manager lines them up. Albies walked in the 2nd, was caught stealing. Was up there with 2 outs and a 1-2 count. Bouncing ball, slow roller. Turner waits back on it. Shovel to 2nd. Close play. He's out. But Olsen coming in hard. Brian Snitker wants to have a look at it. This will be very interesting here. Walt Weiss with his video team, and the Braves want to challenge this. So back to review we go. Crew chief Mark Carlson.
Atlanta is challenging the out call at second base.
Mark Carlson again, the calling umpire at second base, kind of rolled up the arm of Turner. Ooh.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be overturned.
Foot's in there.
Problem for Turner is the ball was hit so slow, and he was shaded pole with Albies up.
Yeah.
And so it's tough for him to get there. Really the only play. He was going to have no chance to get Albies with his speed at first base.
It's another area where the game changes in the postseason. In the regular season, maybe. Here's Mark Carlson.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Atlanta maintains their challenge.
Poor Mark Carlson. He's had 2 bang plays out there, both overturned. And back on the field go the Phillies. Rob Thompson coming over now. But you know, in the regular season, you might not be so aggressive running the bases. In the playoffs, everything goes. And Olsen, credit to him, he was busting it down that line to get to the bag.
The only thing I could ask was he asking if he came off the bag after, if he slid through, but
replay review powered by Zoom. I think there's a question about was the foot there or not. Rob Thompson just, I'm not sure what he was asking. Maybe did he come in hard? Did he maintain contact with the bag or not?
That's going to be it.
Maybe more than anything else, trying to buy time for his reliever.
Yeah.
And that's it. Suarez is out after 3 2/3 innings, pitching beautifully.
I do not think Suarez is real happy. Do you?
So with Ozuna coming up, a power bat. Every manager has a particular lane he wants certain pitchers, and with Ozuna coming up, it looks like Hoffman is his man. Suarez is out.
Of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well, an early pull here. Ranger Suarez rolling along, faced the minimum through the first 3 innings. Picked up 4 strikeouts in the game, not necessarily a strikeout pitcher. But Rob Thompson had his mind made up, and once the Braves put 2 on with a single and a fielder's choice, Suarez exits stage right. In comes Hoffman.
This doesn't surprise me. I think the surprise is Suarez didn't give up a hard hit ball all night. An infield single the other way, but Hoffman obviously the big slider for him. That's his out pitch, and he wants this matchup. Marcel 0 for 5 against Hoffman.
Ozuna with 2 on, 2 outs. First ball swinging, a cut and a miss. That big slider from Hoffman. Ozuna with a 40 homer, 100 RBI season. And after a dreadful start to the year, an incredible turnaround. OPS ended up over 900. Big spot, 0-1 in the dirt. Realmuto keeps him in front.
You know, Hoffman's been so good away, as you see Realmuto, again, one of the best in the game. Been so good away from Citizens Bank Park, too. A .78 ERA on the road. But again, first postseason game here for him.
3 2/3, only 1 hit allowed. Suarez is upset. Was lifted in this game. Will certainly be a factor later in this series if it goes far enough, you would imagine. Two balls and a strike to count. 2 men are aboard. Olsen and Albies. And Hoffman deals. Ooh. Wow. Called a ball. 3-1 the count. That makes it a hitter's count for Ozuna now. Wow, this looked like a great pitch.
It's almost one of those that tricks the umpire. It backed up on him. He thought it was up, I guess.
3-1. Ozuna swing and a miss. Nasty slider with a 3-1 count. Michael Harris the second on deck. Hoffman trying to have him lead off next inning. First big moment here for Atlanta offensively. Phillies scored in the top of this inning. Nothing but off-speed stuff from Hoffman at this point. No fastballs. 3-2 the count. Here he comes. And he missed with it. And the bases are loaded.
You know, I don't know how this is going to turn out. We're going to find out in a minute. But this has become such a big thing to talk about in the postseason. We saw it in Toronto the other day with Barrios. They pulled him. And right here, you know, the same situation. I think the reason Suarez is upset, he knew the game plan, BA. He knew what Rob Thompson and they were going to do. But I think for him, when he's out there, he's thinking, man, I'm absolutely shutting down the best lineup in baseball, and I'm done.
It is very similar to Barrios in Minnesota the other day, and that it'll be a topic of conversation. Suarez has not had the kind of year. So I would say it'd be interesting to hear Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
2 things would come into play here. Number one, because remember he talked about this with us, when the sun sets and the hitting background is a little bit different, which it is now, does the game change a little bit? I don't know if he would say that.
The curveball he had tonight,
it was good.
Oh, it was the best I've seen him throw against the Braves.
It's an old school manager with a new school move. And now the Braves have him loaded up from Michael Harris II. Struck out his last time up against Suarez.
And again, something to think about too. All these other Phillies relievers, for the most part, plenty of postseason experience. But for Hoffman, his first year pitching in the postseason.
1-0. Harris pulls it foul. Barrios faced one batter in the 4th inning in that game. Suarez faced 4 batters in the 4th inning, went 3 2/3. One ball, 1 strike, and Harris, good take, just off the plate, checked his swing, and now it's 2-1.
That was close. First fastball we've seen from Hoffman tonight.
Two and one from Hoffman, a swing and a miss. That was the splitter that time. Hoffman back in the big leagues with the Phillies in early May. Bounced around between Cincinnati, Minnesota, Toronto, and Colorado before that. Been around a while. He picks up a huge strikeout. Back to the splitter. And Harris is out. The Braves strand the bases loaded.
What a pitch.
Hoffman and Harris, 2 base runners, strands them both, and he leaves the bases loaded. Suarez says, all right. The 2023 postseason on TBS is brought to you by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up with promo code HEAT. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go Sports Bar. First ball swinging is Castellanos. Strider, strong throw. Olsen, great catch. Castellanos is out. That is a dangerous play for a first baseman. Castellanos swinging away at the first pitch. 1-0 Phillies here as we open play in the 5th inning. Seen many first basemen injure themselves on a play just like this.
He was able to just get that hand, and really the glove's the only thing that hit Castellanos.
1-3 on the putout. Castellanos is 0 for 2.
I'm pretty sure Strider threw that over at about 106 miles per hour. Some
sink.
serious sink to it.
All right, so Rob Thompson, Jeff, he pulls the plug on Ranger Suarez. Hoffman does get out of the inning, but now the Phillies are in their bullpen in a 1-0 game, but the Braves just strand the bases loaded. It's a big out for Hoffman to get. And now it'll be a bullpen game the rest of the way as Brandon Marsh bats with 1 away. Sir Anthony Dominguez in the Philadelphia bullpen.
Hoffman, 11 pitches. You throw 98 miles per hour, and you only saw one fastball.
Yep, splitters and sliders, right?
I'm telling you what, that split he threw to Michael Harris. That's a pitch in that situation. If you hang it, you got a chance to get a big base hitter, and if anything, leave one in the park. He threw a beautiful one down in the zone.
Emptied out the tank, and a third of an inning for Hoffman as Marsh takes a ball. 3 balls and a strike to count to Brandon Marsh. He's part of that left-right platoon in left field. Christian Pache, the former Brave, is the other half of that. 3-1, and it is ball 4, and a base stealer is aboard in Brandon Marsh. 1-out walk issued by Strider.
Want to talk postseason ball with a friend? Just tell Siri, FaceTime Parker.
2 walks and a hit batter for Spencer Strider tonight. His walk in the 4th to Harper. That was the base runner who scored in that 4th inning. And a swing and a miss, Rojas.
Well, with Wheeler going game 2, Nola going game 3. If there's a game 4 on Thursday night, I think Ranger Suarez got himself another start.
Yeah, good call.
I would think so.
He certainly earned it. Suarez checking the iPad, going through his outing.
A little dig me session maybe at the end right there.
Preparing for next time around. It was an interesting moment in the dugout between innings as the Phillies go over, and Rob Thompson and just having a chat, making sure Suarez knew what the line of thinking was there. A little maintenance for the pitcher who was upset to have to come out of the games. Rojas is swinging a miss.
Yeah, and look, I think if you're Rob Thompson, right, you don't expect him to be happy. I won't expect him to give me the ball and say thanks so much. I mean, he's a competitor. He wants to be out there. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's happy Hoffman was able to get out of the jam.
So a translator down there, Diego Etegui, was making sure Rob Thompson's message was clear. I'm totally fine with Suarez's reaction, too. He kept his cool. You could tell he was upset, but he's a competitor. I'm sure Rob Thompson loves that. 1-2 the count. Little half swing. Did he go? He did not. First base umpire Ben May. And a 2-2 count on Rojas.
You know, on the other side, the way Spencer Strider's throwing the ball, Brian Snitker's going to have to pry the ball out of his hand at some point tonight.
Swing and a miss. High cheese from Strider. Strikeout number 4. Make it number 5. And the second out here of this 5th inning. No secrets here.
No, when you get done seeing that slider out over the plate, you kind of lean, and then you're able to hit that spot, and that ball's kind of rising. That's what his fastball does. Kind of rides that plane upwards. It's a tough pitch.
Rojas is 0 for 2. Top of the order, Schwarber. First ball swinging. Just missed the bag at first. Good work by the ball boy down there, taking it in the chest. Keep it in front.
Well, if I had to bet, Ron Washington's been doing some drills with him at some point.
He's wearing. Come on. Textbook right here.
That's how you teach him. Right there. Stay in front.
Still time to get the out.
Oh, easily.
Wash approved. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. By the way, during the introductions for the anthem, the largest ovation.
Right.
And we're talking about a lineup with Acuna and Albies and Riley and all these great players.
Ron Washington
got the biggest ovation. The 1-1. Good rip at it by Schwarber. He fouls it back. It's 1-2 now.
Yeah, great baseball, man. He was my manager with the Rangers in the World Series in 10.
Phillies got a 2-out run last inning. Bryson Stott with a 2-strike, 2-out RBI single. Phillies with 3 hits. Schwarber had the first one right out of the gates. First pitch of the ball game. He wrapped a double into right center. 1-2. Runner goes. Pitch is low. No throw, and a stolen base for Marsh. Phillies like to run with 2 strikes. That is a strategic opportunity to run for them for all the reasons you mentioned earlier.
And the perfect time. You talk about smart. 1-2 to Schwarber. Schwarber hitting $124 off the breaking pitch, so you sell out. That's what he's going to throw him 1-2, and no chance for Murphy to throw out Marsh.
Now a base hit. Phillies could add to their lead. Marsh can run. 2-2, and a swing and a miss. Schwarber strikes out. Strider with the slider is 6K. Strands a Philly in scoring position, and it's still 1-0 Philadelphia. Braves coming to bat, bottom of the 5th. Hey. The night coming up, Diamondbacks Dodgers right here on TBS, simulcasting on True TV, and of course streaming on Max. Rangers and Orioles ALDS Game 2 will be tomorrow at 4 Eastern Texas with a win today on the road 3-2. Twins and Astros tomorrow as well. Right now the Astros, they've got their closer in the game. They lead 6-4 over Minnesota in Houston. And right here in Atlanta, Truist Park, it is the Phillies and the Braves, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. Bryson Stott with a 2-out RBI in the 4th. And the man who closed out the Braves in the division series last season, Sir Anthony Dominguez, on the mound for the Phillies.
That 22 walks with 48 strikeouts.
Arcia with a base hit to right. Lead man for the Braves in the 5th. Clean single to right field.
Yeah, he's going to come with that heavy mix with that fastball. He's going to sink it off that at 97 to 98. And of course, slider and change, and Arcia The All-Star Orlando Arcia does a good job of just shooting this one the right way, and really the first time we've seen the Braves be able to get someone early in the inning on base.
Arcia has had some great moments in the postseason in the past. Gets a chance as the everyday starter here in Atlanta this year, but his time in Milwaukee, he delivered in the playoffs. Sean Murphy grounded to short his first time up. That was against Ranger Suarez.
And for Sean, kind of the tale of two halves, BA. 306 with a 999 OPS in the first half, which got him to the All-Star game. Second half, 159 with the 585 OPS.
And he finished the year 5 for his last 55. And so now this tandem of Braves catchers, Travis d'Arnaud the other, he'll get the start against Fried. Eddie Rosario ready to hit next. Pilar spot due up. 2 balls and a strike. Lead man on at first base, way inside. Big fastball from Dominguez, almost hit him.
Now you knew with the runner at first like this, he was going to try to run those sinkers in to try to get that rollover double play. Now you're in a 3-1 count right here. And you got to imagine, here it comes again, that sinker. He's going to try to get that ball on the ground to the left side of the infield.
Phillies set up to turn a double play. And the 3-1, Murphy takes a strike. Well placed fastball, 99 on the black. Can't do anything with that one.
No, that's a tip your hat to the pitcher strike.
Call that the Hall of Fame spot down there. If you can pitch there for your career, that is where you'll end up. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Dominguez comes back strong. A strikeout. Big fastball right down the middle. And the first out of the inning.
Yeah, there's no trick in here. 3-2. I got to come to you with a runner at first, and just you can see beats Murphy to the spot. Big time fastball in a big situation.
So it'll be Eddie Rosario, a postseason star from 2 years ago. The NLCS MVP, and they still love him here. Rosario pinch hits for Kevin Pilar. It's interesting that Brian Snitker did add one more position player, one fewer pitcher, to give him another layer of pinch hit so he can do this early in the game. He's got Vaughn Grissom on the roster as well in case he needs a right-handed bat later in the game.
And with the way that the Phillies bullpen can mix and match it with the lefties and righties, so you wanted that extra right-handed bat.
0-1 to Rosario, and he chased one.
Remember back 2 postseasons ago here in Atlanta, Eddie Rosario, huge postseason, 23 of 60 with 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and of course was the NLCS MVP against the Dodgers.
Traded from Cleveland to the Braves that year, remade outfield. He was a big part of it, and he slings that one into right center. A bullet. Arcia goes first to third. Rosario, a pinch hit single, and here come the Braves with one away in the 5th.
Well, that's a mistake right there by Dominguez, BA, because Eddie Rosario really susceptible to that off speed. He had him 0-2 after elevating that fastball. Look where this misses. You can see JT trying to go up in the zone, and he misses right down the middle.
Arcia all the way to third. Eddie Rosario has had 2 career pinch hit appearances in the postseason. He's 2 for 2 now.
Yeah, again, that was location. We showed you that replay.
Caleb Cotham is out. Phillies pitching coach with a chat here. There is activity in the bullpen. This feels like a little bit of a delay pattern as Matt Strahm, the lefty, is warming up. Atlanta, a couple of singles here off Dominguez in this 5th inning. Arcia A leadoff single to the opposite field. Rosario pulls one into right center.
Look where JT Realmuto. Look at him standing. He's wanting that ball letter high and above. And Eddie Rosario slugs on fastballs, and when you miss 0-2 like that, man, you let that hitter out of a trap, and Eddie made him pay.
Good catch. First and third, one out, top of the order. Ronald Acuna, 0 for 2, couple of ground outs in this game. Both of those at bats against Suarez. Acuna, first ball swinging, he fouls it away. Braves right where they want to be. If they get any production from the bottom of the order, which they have done all year, they have some of the great hitters in the game. Massive numbers with runners in scoring position all year.
See that man right there, Spencer Strider, hoping even for one run at least to tie this ball game up.
Acuna drove in 106 during the regular year. Swing and a foul tip.
And when you go back and break down Ronald Acuna Jr.'s year and why he was able to have such a huge year, it's these situations for him with 2 strikes. Took his K rate from 23.6 last year, BA, all the way down to 11.4 this year.
Yeah, massive decrease. 1-2 the count. One out in the inning. Acuna takes a cold strike 3. Pinpoint command by Dominguez. Rings the bell with the fastball. Acuna is gone. A backwards K, and 2 men are out now.
We can see that ball almost held its course right there. You almost felt like it was going to continue to run into Acuna, and instead you can see Realmuto with the fist pump. He said, last time you didn't put it where I wanted it. This time, perfect location.
Big time pitch. 2 outs now. Still runners at the corners. Here's Austin Riley, elevated into the number 2 spot here tonight, and he takes the first one high. With 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Riley, a low batting average. 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout and a flyout. Riley is swing and a miss. 99 from Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Boy, I'll tell you what, too, you're watching Dominguez. He is not messing around with that slider at all. He is challenging these guys with high velocity fastballs.
Riley drove in 97 during the regular year, 37 homers. Big spot.
This is one of those moments here if you're Austin Riley. Maybe you cheat a little bit. Maybe you get started early. You sell out. It's 2-1. You've seen him just ripping fastballs.
2-1. Riley did get it started early. Still late on it.
Yeah.
And now it's 2-2. Boy, Dominguez just powering up the Braves
He's letting
right
it eat right now.
Arcia, big lead at third, trying to distract Dominguez. Here's a 2-2. Riley spoils it foul. Back to the fastball again. That is a tough pitch to foul off. Riley able to get to that one.
It is, and you can see again, here's your fastballs. One sinker sprinkled in, but remember Bryson stopped that other inning against Strider. Same kind of deal. He shortened up and punched the ball the other way.
Anxious crowd here. 1-0 Phillies. Riley able to lay off. Well, if you weren't selling out for the fastball before, you might as well now.
Well, I was going to say that slider was so far off the plate,
yes.
But again, 3-2 right here.
Olsen due next.
And again, look, you'd love the 3-run homer, but if you're Austin Riley right here, just a base hit ties this ball game up.
Braves stranded the bases loaded last inning. And a swing and a miss there. Anthony Dominguez. Big strikeout. All 3 of his outs via the K. And the Braves strand 2 more. This power-packed Philadelphia bullpen in the game early. Racking up the Ks. We go to the 6th. 1-0 Philadelphia. Eddie Rosario, after a pinch hit single, will stay in to play left field. Pilar is out of the game. Spencer Strider back to work. Tight one here. 1-0. Strider dominant against the Phillies in the regular season the last 2 years. 8-0. 4-0 in each of the last 2 years. And just massive numbers. Look at the strikeout numbers. 13.7 Ks per 9. A 1.90 ERA. So those are regular season outings. Turner off the end of the bat. Strider makes a nice play. Fires one over to Olsen for out number 1. One away for Strider. The Hank Aaron Award is awarded annually to the best overall offensive performer in each league. You can cast your vote for the top offensive performer by scanning the QR code or going to MLB.com/Aaron. Nominees in this series: Acuna, Matt Olson, and Bryce Harper.
Three pretty good ones, huh?
Take them. And Harper rings one right field. That is up and gone. Bryce Harper with a home run. Right on cue, on base for the 3rd time. His 2nd hit. Harper fired up on his way around the bags. And the Phillies lead it 2-0.
Well, Bryce Harper, a great fastball hitter, but the slider are pitches that you see him slug on down in the zone where his swing bat path drops the bat head on it. That ball 115 off the bat. Oh. 375 right into the chop house in right field.
2-0, and this crowd is quiet here at Truist Park. Alec Bohm, a swing and a miss on the breaking ball. First pitch slider, Frenchie.
Yep, spinner. We saw him last postseason, 6 home runs.
6 homers, 15 RBIs in the postseason last year. The MVP of the NLCS against San Diego. That was as a DH. He is a first baseman for the first time in the playoffs. And Harper, an infield hit, a walk, and now the homer to make it 2-0 Philadelphia. Strider has Bohm 0-2, and he puts a fastball in, and Bohm got caught guessing. Down he goes.
Yeah, I would think that one was one. He thought the slider was coming, and I mean, if you're the Atlanta Braves, you got exactly what you wanted out of Spencer Strider today. I mean, I know that was a mistake and got it, but only 80 pitches in the 6th. He's got 7 strikeouts now, 4 on the fastball, 3 on the slider. It's been the other side, the offense for the Braves.
Stranding 5 runners the last 2 innings. And a strike in there to start Bryson Stott. Stott had the first run of the game. He delivered an RBI in the 4th, came with 2 outs. Strider committed an error, a throwing error on a pickoff. That allowed Harper to go to second. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Bryson Stott is 2 for 3.
You know, interesting enough, with that home run Harper hit off Strider now, 9 of his last 10 home runs he's given up, 3rd time through the order for Strider.
Interesting. Harper's dialed in right now. Checking the moves, and a bullet off the bat of Bryce Harper. He's done it so often. No player has more homers against the Braves than Bryce Harper. It's the team he's homered the most against. There's a hard hit ground ball right to Arcia. He'll go the easy way, and that will retire the side. But Bryce Harper strikes again. 2-time MVP doing MVP caliber things. 2-0 Philadelphia. All right, EJ, thank you. On brand. You see how Ernie professionally goes through all the places you can watch the games. Remember that next time.
I will.
Frenchie.
I also want to remember Yordan Alvarez. I guess he knows it's October again now. 2 home runs.
There is Jose Alvarado. He is one of the dominant pitchers in the game. It is interesting that he is in the game now. Again, we talked about the particular part of the batting order that Rob Thompson wants particular pitchers to face, and when it's Olson, Albies, and Ozuna, it is Alvarado time.
Now he's got that 100-mile-per-hour sink cut. It does a little bit of everything. It dances.
2-0 Phillies as Olson, little jam shot, one hopper over to Bohm, and there is out number 1. So back early in the game, we talked about the change of the lineup for the Atlanta Braves, and Brian Snitker very clear about his reasons why. And while it may feel like a little bit of a disruption at this point, this is the exact moment why he changes his lineup, I think.
Well, it's what he told us. I think more of Alvarado, Soto, the 2 lefties. Look, Ozzie Albies hitting from this side of the plate, .391 average with a .1023 OPS. So his big thing, you want to bring the lefties in to face Olson. You got to face Ozzie Albies, and you got to face Marcell Ozuna from this side.
It is, you have to face 3 batters minimum. Not that Alvarado would be a 1 batter pitcher even back when that was a rule, but to back up his lefties with 2 right-handers in both spots, following Olson and then again following Harris, and then he does have pinch hitters and available players he can go to at the bottom of the order. But this is the specific window, knowing exactly that Alvarado is going to be deployed to face this part of the order. So now we'll see if the move pays off. But it is newsworthy that the Braves changed their lineup when they pretty much had the same lineup all year.
Yeah, the only switch when you go back for the Atlanta Braves was they switched Ozzie Albies and Matt Olson, the 2-hole and the 4-hole.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Alvarado deals, and sounded like a broken bat, dropping fast, and it's down, a base hit. Albies, big turn around first. That ball just died in left center. Might have broken his bat. It goes as a hit, and Albies is aboard. The tying run will come up here in the 6th inning.
I know this, whether it broke his bat or not, his hands are ringing right now. I think he actually got that off the end of the bat.
Right off the end.
He was trying to turn. Good try by Marsh. He had to come a long way. That ball was just dying.
They had Marsh squeezed into the gap to start with. Close play. Falls as a single. Now Ozuna. Ooh, big swing by Ozuna. Middle fastball.
It's one of those big swings. I know it looks good. You can see the career 3 Ks, but some damage there for Marcell against Alvarado too. But 98, 99, 100. You take big swings. A lot of time they're by you.
Always a base stealing threat. Stays put. And Ozuna late on it. Fouls it away. Alvarado with another big fastball. That one poured in at 99 miles an hour. One out base runner on the Albies single. Tying run at the plate in Ozuna. The 0-2 is in the dirt. Wow, what a play by Real Muto.
You know, it's really for Jose Alvarado. Again, Real Muto does such a good job here.
How athletic is this guy?
Well, that's, yeah. He can hit a golf ball, too.
I'm sure he can. I do anything he wants.
But Alvarado, only 18 walks this year.
Yeah.
And that's something in his career going back to Tampa he struggled with, even first when he came to Philly, but he's cleaned that up.
Rough postseason last year. That ball's hit sharply, caught by Turner, and Albies scampers back. Ozuna hit it on the button. Turner right there, out number 2. That ball's got a chance to split the gap if it gets by Turner. 2 gone now. Albies still at first base.
Yeah, agreed. Even if that's a little to the right, it's probably a single, but with Albies' speed, he might be able to get to third.
Good base running by Albies to freeze on the line drive. Make sure he gets back. And now Michael Harris. So Alvarado survives the two right-handed bats. The managerial game within the game is fascinating in the postseason. Brian Snitker wanting to give his right-handed bats the best chance against the lefty. Alvarado retires them both, albeit a line drive. Now a little tapper. Alvarado makes the play, and that will retire the side. Jose Alvarado puts up a 0 in the 6th. We go to the 7th in Atlanta. 2-0 Phillies. The 2023 postseason on TBS is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. And brought to you by Taco Bell. Steal a base, steal a taco is back. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Low scoring affair here. The Phillies have taken the lead 2-0. 2-out RBI single by Bryson Stott in the 4th. 1-out home run by Bryce Harper in the 6th. Spencer Strider back to the mound. He starts his 7th inning. And he'll face Castellanos, Marsh, and Rojas. Castellanos takes a ball. So Strider does start this inning. Check this out. So tracking began in 2008. So during that time, 18 swings and misses. The most for a Braves pitcher. 7 strikeouts for Spencer Strider. He does start this inning, Jeff, with A.J. Minter loosening in the Atlanta bullpen.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. If the runner gets on and you flip that lineup to Schwarber.
Ground ball over to Riley. Spins. And a good throw in time for the out. Nice play by Austin Riley. Castellanos is 0 for 3.
That'll be an interesting decision they have to make. A 4th time through the lineup with your ace out on the mound. Only 86 pitches. Riley does a good job knowing he had time.
Max Fried scheduled to start game 2. There is an off day tomorrow in the National League. Only the American League Division Series in play tomorrow. So the 2 National League Series get a day off. Back at it Monday. So Max Fried, there is some concern about a blister. He has not been pitching, but he has been pitching in the inter squad games, and that is a factor for Brian Snitker, I'm sure. Said he came out very well in 5 innings in the inter squad.
There's that slider. He gets so many swings and misses on that pitch. Obviously, because of the high velocity fastballs, guys are sometimes cheating to get to that ball, and he throws that slider down. It's tough to lay off.
1 ball, 1 strike on Marsh. Swing and a miss right over the top of it again.
I think Harper's the only guy we've seen lay off that pitch, and it got him a walk earlier in the game.
And then it got him a slightly elevated slider, which Harper hit out. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Big fastball. 2 outs. Strikeout number 8 for Strider. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org. Follow Play Ball on social media. Strider with 2 outs facing Johan Rojas. First ball swinging. Slow roller foul. Well, now the big question is, what does Rob Thompson do to get to the finish line here? He has deployed some of his best relievers.
Yeah.
Alvarado's a guy who's closed games for him.
Usually they like Hoffman Alvarado to be more the 7th, 8th. Tonight they've had to come in at different times.
Orion Kerkering, the rookie, is about to enter the fray here with the bottom of the order coming up in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, and Spencer Strider's doing exactly what, if you're Brian Snitker, you need right here. Keep this game exactly where it's at, because they're trying to add on. And he's been so good tonight. I mean, he's showing you right now why he won 20 games. And he struck out 281 hitters this year and set the Braves franchise record.
Strider, 2 outs in the 7th against Johan Rojas. Rojas has been overmatched tonight, as most rookies are, against Strider in this kind of environment. Bounced straight from Double-A to the big leagues. Rojas, he's just 23.
You don't see Spencer Strider sitting down in Double-A.
Both of these guys had fast rises to the big leagues. Rojas didn't make his big league debut until July, mid-July. 0-2 the count. 2-0 Phillies. Rojas on the ground. Albies will put him away, and that will do it for the Phillies in the 7th. Bottom of the order is coming up, and a rookie is coming on. Orion Kerkering making his postseason debut. ACL injury. The 2023 National League Division Series is presented by Booking.com. Phillies lead it 2-0. Bryson Stott, Bryce Harper delivering the runs. Harper with another postseason home run. Our Jeep game summary with the Phillies leading 2-0 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Stott drove in the run in the 4th, and then Harper's home run coming in the 6th. Spencer Strider 7 strong. Braves stranded 5 runners across those 2 innings, have left 6 on now. Brian Anderson, Jeff Francoeur. So this gets very interesting now. Orion Kerkering is coming in. He did appear in the wild card series, but about to make his division series debut here.
Yeah, look, if you're Rob Thompson, you brought in Hoffman in a high leverage situation. He got out. You got Alvarado, but now you got to bridge yourself to Kimbrel, and so you're bringing in a rookie, which will be interesting. You know, look, I've seen the Braves have had a lot of big swings tonight. We've talked about, and these high velocity fastballs by Dominguez and Alvarado and those guys have got, and this guy right here, Spencer Strider, did a heck of a job, and I'm pretty sure he's telling Rick Kranitz right now, I want to go back out there for the 8th.
He is adamant about something. Rick Kranitz is a great listener. He always has been. Well,
look at the veteran Charlie Morton sitting there trying to play good cop.
Yeah, Charlie Morton has a finger injury, and he didn't want that smoke. He is pulled right out of that conversation. So will Strider go back out? We shall see. But the story on the mound is the rookie right-hander who made his big league debut September 24th. Orion Kerkering is now in the mix here, and apparently part of this leverage bullpen as he gets the bottom of the order in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, you said it. You're going to have to bridge 9 more outs, and he's getting it. His pitch, he throws a sweeper, BA, about 85% of the time, and there it is right there. And they have a lot of confidence. Rob Thompson said, I wanted to get an eye on him late in the season. They did, and he said the moment was never too big for him.
Rob Thompson told us they were talking about Kerkering as Arcia lines one to left. Marsh races in to make the play for the out. Philly said they were talking about Kerkering as a potential, not just big leaguer, but somebody who could be a factor in the bullpen as early as prior to the All-Star break, even starting in late May and June. And again, to get him in the big leagues, to see what he looks like. And he was sold. Rob Thompson said, okay, I see what all these guys are talking about. And boy, puts him in a spot.
And another guy, as you know, throws 97, 98 with the fastball also. But again, that sweeper is the one he likes to go to.
One away in the 7th inning. Murphy at the plate. Kerkering had that great debut. It became a viral moment with his father, Todd, who's in attendance here tonight, tearing up with every pitch. Couldn't believe his son had made it to the big leagues. And a bouncing ball. Bohm gobbles it up. 2 up and 2 down as we send it down to Matt Weiner. What do you have, Matt?
Well, BA, the name Orion Kerkering sounds like a Marvel character. I think we can all agree on that, first of all. And his rise within the organization has been something heroic and meteoric. This is his season so far. 9 games in A-ball, 18 games at high A, 21 games AA, a single game at AAA before Rob Thompson and the Phillies brass wanted to see him at the major league level, and that happened on September 22nd. Nothing short of remarkable.
Does remind you years past. Think about Frankie Rodriguez, K-Rod, when he came up with the Angels, and all of a sudden this bullpen that was already good with quality arms, different kind of arms from both sides too. Now you add one more piece, and obviously they trust this kid.
Yeah, they do. I'll tell you what, he threw 60 pitches in the regular season. 51 of those 60 was the sweeper.
2-0 the count. Rosario, high fly ball, shallow center. Turner will call it, and Orion Kerkering, in his Diaz debut, retires the Braves in order. 1, 2, 3. 7 in the books. We go to the 8th. Top of the order coming up. Phillies lead 2-0. Upcoming postseason schedule. Second of our National League Division Series doubleheader is coming up. Diamondbacks and Dodgers. Bob Costas, Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi in Los Angeles. Dodgers have been awaiting the wild card series winning Diamondbacks. Rangers and Orioles game 2 tomorrow. Rangers up 1-0 in that series. Astros behind. Justin Verlander got the win tonight. They'll play the Twins tomorrow. Both of those games on FS1. 8th inning now. 2-0 Phillies. Phillies pitching has been excellent, shutting down this high-powered offense, and now A.J. Mentor, the Atlanta setup man, he'll get this 8th inning with the top of the order coming up.
Well, and he's their high-leverage lefty for the Braves, and with Schwarber and Harper 1-3 right here, you know, they decided to go to a fresh arm in the bullpen. See, 82 strikeouts for A.J. on the year. Yeah, what a job by that young rookie, though, huh?
Kerkering, amazing.
I mean, unbelievable.
And nobody warming up in the bullpen right now. There's a chance he could come back out.
I told you, I think he's coming back out to face Acuna and Riley, and then you'll probably see Soto for Olsen.
And then you just start to peel back and go all the way back to the decision to take Ranger Suarez out. And the trust they're putting in this rookie that fattened out their bullpen a little bit. And so far, it has worked for Rob Thompson. He's got 6 outs to get. As Schwarber having a calm conversation with home plate umpire Brian O'Nora. In a struggle in his career against Mentor, just 1 hit. It was a double. He has walked 5 times. Mentor's got him 1-2, and a swing and a miss. 98-mile-an-hour gas from A.J. Mentor, and a strikeout to start the 8th.
Well, this was perfect location on this pitch. The other one's kind of away painted. This one climbed that zone and elevated on him at 98. I'll tell you one thing you're seeing from both these bullpen starters. You are seeing some velocity tonight.
1 out. Here's Trey Turner. Turner tonight is 0 for 3. Did reach on a fielder's choice. All of his batted balls have been on the ground tonight. Turner in the wild card series had 4 hits, including 2 doubles. He was 4 for 7. Former batting champion. That was the year he split between the Nationals and the Dodgers. That ball's hit sharply to center field, a base hit. Trey Turner with a 1-out single. Went down and got one on the outer half. And a base stealing threat is aboard with 1 away, and Bryce Harper coming up.
Well, most of the time you're going to see Mentor go fastball and cutter on hitters. You'll see him sprinkle in that changeup, and that was one where he did. And Turner didn't miss it.
Last time up, Bryce Harper sent one over the fence and right. 115 miles an hour off the bat. One of the hardest hit balls. And there goes Turner on a delayed steal, and he's in there. The old school delayed steal. Murphy already caught a would-be base stealer today. That was Real Muto in the second. This time Turner is in there.
When's the last time you've seen a delayed steal? I mean, that's exactly how you teach it.
I mean, did we just roll back into the 1990s?
That's
all of a
what
sudden?
I'm saying, Arcia. I mean, he had no chance, even if it was a good throw early.
And you really steal that on the catcher. And Murphy did just get down at his haunches enough. He wasn't coming out of the chute ready to throw.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even if that throw was on the money, first of all, Turner would have beat it. But second of all, Arcia wasn't even at the bat.
Third stolen base for the Phillies. Harper, look at those numbers. Big postseason numbers just added to it. And there goes Turner on his way to third base. Throw from the knees. Risky throw. Riley keeps it close. Second stolen base for Trey Turner, and he goes all the way from first to third. That's big. There's still only one out.
Well, another one that they didn't even look. I'm telling you, no matter what kind of throw, Turner had that stolen easily.
Phillies, they claim they were going to run, and they are running. 4 out of 5 stolen base opportunities. Infield in. 3-0 to Harper. Green light, swing and a miss. Give him a 3-0 cutter.
I gotta say it, 3-0 is the new 2-0.
Way above average for Harper in situations like this. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Harper takes a ball. It is ball 4. Time for greatness on the field, presented by Geico. This was the clout that gave the Phillies a 2-0 lead. And it got out of here in a flash.
And you saw Strider's reaction. He knew it right away. One of the probably maybe the only mistake he's made besides the ball he threw for an error over Olson's head tonight.
Mentor is out. Snitker will take the ball from him with Alec Boehm coming up. Here's Johnson is coming in. The Phillies have forced a pitching change here with one away and runners at first and third. The Phillies threaten to add on. Got this crowd quiet. Home for postseason baseball. Download the MLB app today. Phillies have forced Brian Snitker's hand here in the 8th inning with 1 out. Pierce Johnson on the pitch.
Yeah, they got Pierce at the trade deadline over from Colorado. One of the 2 guys that came from the Rockies, him and Brad Hand, and he's been outstanding. 6 ERA with Colorado, but for the Braves, .76. Another guy you're going to see, he's got a high velocity fastball, but 65% of the time he's throwing that curveball. This is an example where they're bringing him in to either get a strikeout or try to get a ground ball double play.
We'll put the right-hander on Alec Boehm, who has struggled with the breaking ball so far tonight. Mostly Spencer Strider, his first 3 at-bats. So Boehm will step in with a chance to add to this Phillies lead. First and third. Inning started with a strikeout of Schwarber, and a single and a walk, and 2 steals by Turner. Boehm takes a strike. Harper started then stopped. I don't know if he had a spin out or not.
Yeah, they're thinking the same thing that we're talking about up here, trying to stay out of that ground ball double play.
0-1 the count. Johnson deals. Swing and a miss. That's why they bring him in. That pitch right there. Boehm's been chasing the breaking ball tonight. Now the decision to take Strider out of the game after 7. Only able to get 1 out of A.J. Mentor. 0-2 the count. Braves looking for a double play ball. Harper goes. A swing and a miss. So Boehm strikes out, but it's another stolen base for the Phillies. That is the 3rd of the inning. Now second and third with 2 outs.
Well, he got him to chase there. Got him to expand. And now with Harper stealing, this is where it gets interesting. You got a base open with Stott, the lefty, up with the righty Real Muto on deck.
5 steals in the game for the Phillies. Stott drove in the first run. And that one's in there. That stolen base by Harper, by the way, is a Phillies postseason record. And not done yet.
He told us they were going to run, but we're going to have to get on to Rob Monday because they're running more than he told us.
And when you think about the first running opportunity, Real Muto was thrown out and caught stealing to start it. So they have gone 5 for 5 since. Base hit could score 2. Stott fouls it away. 0-2 the count on Stott.
Well, this is where Sean Murphy behind the plate, you have got to make sure you block this ball. That's the trust of your pitcher to your catcher, knowing that I can bury this in the dirt and he's going to keep it in front of him.
Big spot right here. 2-0 game. Phillies trying to add. Stott at the plate. The 0-2 is upstairs. Stott's RBI single was on a 2-strike pitch in the 4th. Came with 2 outs, was the first run of the game. 5 RBIs in the postseason already for Stott. The 1-2 in the dirt, smothered beautifully back there by Murphy. Just saved a run with the speedy Turner at third.
And you got to have both these teams, one advantage they have. Murphy, a Gold Glover behind there. JT Realmuto, one of the best catchers the last 9-10 years. It's a lot of trust.
So Murphy on his way out just to give Johnson a breather. That is the Phillies bullpen.
I told you, just
empty.
Looking at the pitchers, he's coming out for 2 guys.
Ryan Kerkering is going to try to give multiple innings here in game 1. And there's his dad, Todd. It's all business now. It was all tears when you see your son in the majors. Now he's in the playoffs.
Watching him back in April in Clearwater and 100 degrees down in Florida, and all of a sudden he's here now pitching.
What a story.
Huge game.
Poker face. 2-2 the count. Second and third, 2 outs. And that gets by. Turner started, then stopped. Murphy keeps it close enough.
That's where I know you, as a hitter, BA, you got to protect. But it's like if you're Stott here, you almost take a chance and sit on that curveball and try to see it and hit it.
You got the right-handed hitting Realmuto next. Matchup in the favor of the left-handed hitter. 3-2, 2 outs. Stott lays off in the dirt. I think Johnson just trying to get him to bite. Murphy makes a couple of great stops back there. Now the bases are loaded. A single and 2 walks and 3 stolen bases have loaded him up. And here comes Realmuto.
That's the hard thing. When that is your pitch and you only throw 1 fastball during that and it's up in the zone and the other 5 are curveballs, you just allow that hitter to get a little more comfortable. You might chase the first 1 or 2, but it takes a good one to put you away.
And Realmuto has been on deck taking all that in, all these sequences. Third batter faced here for Johnson. Game on the line right now. And that one misses. Anxious crowd, the sellout crowd here at Truist Park. For the most part, the Phillies have kept them quiet.
When I think fans sense this is the moment with the top of your lineup coming up next inning, a 2-0 ball game.
Yeah.
Very feasible. If you get a base hit here and it goes to 4-0, boy, it's a tall task.
Yeah, Rick Kranitz, the Braves pitching coach, taking the slow walk to the mound right now. It is not rolling well for Atlanta. Well, the Phillies have the bases loaded. Game 2 of the wild card series, a put-away punch by Bryson Stott, the second ever postseason grand slam. Shane Victorino had the first against CC Sabathia in 2008. And Bryson Stott delivered again his first ever big league grand slam, and it comes in a playoff game. And that's what's in front of JT Realmuto right here.
That's the hard thing now. You're 2-0, but do you have the feel to throw that fastball for a strike, right? Only throwing 1.
See what he gives him. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 Phillies. And he threw a nasty breaking ball that time. That's the best one he's thrown. Gets a swing and a foul. Atlanta has the top of their order coming up in the 8th. Real Muto trying to deliver a put-away punch. 2-2 now. No, that's catcher's interference. That is a catcher's interference, and a run's going to score. That'll be an error on Murphy. And it is 3-0 Philadelphia. Real Muto knew it right away, could feel it on the swing.
Murphy knew it right away, too, if you saw. He slammed his glove knowing it.
This is reviewable. The Braves are looking at it, will not challenge. And now actually Brian Snitker coming out and say, hey, take a look at it, might as well. Ooh. Boy, I didn't see it there. Let's see. I don't know. I don't see anything moving on the glove.
Atlanta is challenging the call of catcher's interference.
Well, thank goodness for the high-speed cameras and replays we have. And the skilled men and women behind those cameras, because that was a pretty good look at it. And unless he clipped the lace of the mitt, I didn't see any movement on the glove.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. Did you see Murphy's reaction?
Man, I don't see it, Frenchie. Unless I'm missing something.
Whew, I didn't see it either.
The thing is, on the field, it's called catcher's interference.
Yeah,
it has to be conclusive to overturn. Wow. This is a big call right here.
It's just so odd when you got a catcher, 2 catchers up there, really, because Murphy's behind, and Murphy didn't argue, though.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he slammed his glove like it had happened. That's the thing that kind of was like, huh?
Real Muto pointed right away before he even finished the swing, basically. Mark Carlson, the crew chief. Had 3 challenges in this game. The first 2 have been overturned. Here we go.
After review, the call on the field stands. There was catcher's interference. Atlanta has 1 remaining challenge.
Now, the language, when they give you that, there's 2 things you can say in that scenario: stands or confirmed. And the fact they said the call stands, not enough evidence to overturn. And right away, Brian O'Nora said it was a catcher's interference. I don't know. I don't see it. I do not see it there, but whatever the call is on the field, and now Braves fans are throwing bottles and cans onto the field here.
Come on.
This reminds me of the 2012 wild card game, which we called, and that was just an embarrassing situation. Had to stop the game, Braves and Cardinals. It's going to take a minute here to clean up the mess.
You know, so you're up there in New York real quick, and you're watching that replay of the catcher's interference. Do you think part of it goes into the fact that you're sitting there and you're saying, we had a catcher who looked right away, and we had a catcher that slammed his glove like he was guilty?
And then maybe, more importantly, there's nothing on video that would show you maybe conclusively that it could be overturned. I don't know. I didn't see anything. But maybe.
This is where watching to see Sean Murphy right away slams his. You see him slam it like it was like he knew.
Wow. It'll be his error. Still cleaning up the cans that were thrown out onto the field. Good job by the grounds crew. It's such a dangerous thing to do. There are players out there.
I think too, if you got people throwing from far away, man, you got kids in the stands, you know.
Yeah, don't do
One
that.
of those
Set an example,
down.
right? Great fans here, but a select few out there making the bad choice. Kirby Yates, Brad Hand in the bullpen. All those replay reviews powered by Zoom, by the way. See if you can hear it. Sometimes umpires use their ears as much as their eyes. Play it in real speed here. There's a little double hit right there.
Well, I tell you this, it looked like his bat dragged through. That's the only reason I say, because it was a hanging curveball. But again, the thing I'll go with, you have two catchers down there that both didn't argue. Put it that way. That tells you a lot.
I think it's a good observation. And you could hear a little bit the little double tick.
It sounded like something, but again, I'm taking two of the best catchers in baseball, and they kind of told you, I think, what you need to know.
If Murphy, he'll feel that on his glove, right? You're going to feel that.
That's what I'm saying.
He would go crazy if it wasn't.
Right?
Yeah.
In that situation.
One more can came on the field that they cleaned up. So here we go. 2 outs, still bases loaded, and Castellanos fouls off the first pitch. That one is going to be talked about heavily. Harper, the runner at third now. He walked, stole a base. Stott walked. Real Muto reaches on the catcher's interference. Bouncing ball gets by the pitcher. Arcia coming in bare hands and makes the play. Nicely done by Orlando Arcia. But the Phillies add on a catcher's interference with the bases loaded. Arcia makes a brilliant play with the bare hand. Braves coming up. Rookie back on the mound. Acuna leads off. The 2023 postseason on TBS is brought to you by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up with promo code HEAT. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the top of the order is coming up. And a rookie on the mound, Orion Kerkering. Retired the Braves in order in the 7th. He's got Acuna, Riley, maybe Olsen. I guess it would all depend on what happens to these first 2 hitters. 3-0 Phillies.
That's the thing. He's got 7 multi-inning outings in the minors this year. They teach a lot of the young guys now, you're going to throw, sit down, and come back out. But again, now he's facing the potential MVP in Ronald Acuna, and you see 2-0.
Massive strikeout numbers in the minor leagues this year for Kerkering, especially in those multi-inning outings.
Only 3 walks, 22 strikeouts in those multi-inning.
I'm just thinking of the adrenaline flush after you pitch in a DS game. And he walks Ronald Acuna Jr., the lead man on for the Braves here in this 8th inning. The NHL on TNT returns on Wednesday. Coverage starts at 6:30 Eastern. You can watch it on TNT or stream it on Max. Hawks and Bruins will get us started, and then the Avalanche and the Kings. Liam and Biz, Ace, King Henrik, the Great One, they're all back for NHL on TNT as a pitching change is coming. Lights are out. Kerkering is removed after a batter in the 8th. And Rob Thompson back into his bullpen. .com. Into the fire comes left-hander Matt Strahm. Strahm is in to face Austin Riley, then Olsen to follow, and then Ozzie Albies, the lead man on, a walk to start the inning. Kerkering is out and Strahm is in.
I agree, BA, with talk between changes. Kerkering, when he saw those 4 balls, I just think he thought the same thing. He sat down, all that adrenaline was gone, so he's going to go get a fresh arm to face the middle of this Braves lineup.
Got to face 3 batters anyway, and you have a 3-0 lead. So it is Riley who Strahm gets first, and not Olsen.
Yeah, fastball 93-94. It's going to sink, and the 4-seamer, and of course his put-away pitch is that slider. 31 of his Ks on that slider.
Riley is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Strahm, the funky left-hander, he slings it in, and the fastball misses. Well, it has been a steady run of relievers here for Rob Thompson. Ranger Suarez went 3 2/3. All donuts on the board for all the relievers who have entered this game. Used some of his late game weapons early as Riley off the end of the bat, base hit. Austin Riley with a single to left field, and now the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate. A walk and a single, 2-men are on with nobody out in the 8th.
Just take the fastball in the outer part of the zone and lined it to left to bring up the tying run. And Matt Olson, the guy that led all the baseball with 54 home runs this year, franchise record.
Big spot here. The Braves have had some traffic. They stranded the bases loaded in the 4th, left 2 on in the 5th, left another man on in the 6th. Those are their 6 runners left on base in this game. The Phillies just left the bases loaded, although they did score 1 on the catcher's interference. Strom deals. Olson late fouls it away. Rob Thompson in his 2nd year, the Canadian. Steady presence in that dugout. He was the bench coach for Gabe Kapler, bench coach for Joe Girardi. Rode this team to the World Series last year when he got the job in June. Strom misses. Tried to get Olson on the high fastball, and it's 1-2 now. Kerkering started the inning, walked Acuna. Phillies set up to turn a double play. And Olson jumps out of the way. Lost the handle of that breaking ball. And the count evens at 2-2.
Yeah, I think he tried to grip that one and throw it. Really try to bury this, and it kind of backed up on him and almost hit Matt Olson.
Crowd starting to swell up a little bit now. Olson takes ball 3. Albies due next. Brian Snitker changed up his lineup for moments like this to try to get a right-hander up there against a lefty. 3-2 pitch. Olson got jammed. He may have chased ball 4. He did.
Definitely did. 3-2. And Olson, a lot like Schwarber on the other side, will take his walks. 104 walks this year. So a lot of power, but also very selective. Chase there.
Big moment here for Strom. Acuna and Riley, the base runners. 3-2 the count again. Riley in the air, center field. On the run is Rojas. Acuna and Riley are going to tag. Riley will stop. Acuna to third. And Rojas puts it away. Riley just missed it on the bat for the first out.
Man, what a great battle here between Strom and Olson. Starts him off just to get me over, slider to get strike 1, and then gets a good pitch, but he got him 0-2, and Olson was able to fight back. Sinker up, takes this one in, and then that one away. And right here was 1 ball 4, but then here Olson got a good swing on it, just got in on him enough to fly out to the warning track.
So 1 away. Olson the first out of the inning. 1st and 3rd now for Ozzie Albies. It's so interesting to me when we talk to these managers and they're going through. Brian Snitker said he hasn't slept since March
28th.
But these are the moments he's pouring through in his mind. When the big at-bat comes, what's the matchup I can try to plumb out of the opposition? That is a great play by Turner. Flips to the bag. Throw to first. A double play. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Trey Turner, a spectacular play at short. It would be one thing just to get it out there, but the Phillies turn it up and get out of the inning.
What a play. I mean, you're talking the play of the game right here. That ball goes in. You're talking 1st and 2nd, 2nd and 3rd instead. No runs. And he gets out of it.
Wow. What a moment Phillies still lead 3-0.
Well, we just saw the defensive play of the postseason so far. Turner to get this ball to Stott and then to whip it across to Harper to get the speedy Ozzie Albies. What a play by Trey Turner.
The big addition this offseason.
Wow.
A $300 million man signed an 11-year deal and paying off in a big way with his glove. Huge double play. A silencer here. Still 3-0 Phillies. Brandon Marsh in the air. That's Arcia calling. And the shortstop makes a catch. Raisel Iglesias on the mound. Normally the Braves closer. And these reactions say it all. That was a big-time play in a big-time moment.
And then this reaction by Austin Riley kind of just sums up the Braves' night so far from an offensive side when they finally had something going. Trey Turner. And let me tell you, not only was that play unbelievable, the flip to get to Stott. A lot of guys just say, I'm getting one there. I'm not. He flipped that hard and gave Stott actually a chance to turn two.
The body control he has to, you know, remember all those viral slides when he would just pop up, but he's so gifted as an athlete. As we look at the numbers on Raisel Iglesias, 33 saves this year. He and Mentor, their top two relievers.
Well, and because of the off days, you're seeing here too, Brian Snitker being able to bring his closer in, knowing that he's got to keep this game at 3-0 to have a chance in the ninth.
Bryce Harper had the home run in the 6th, on base 4 times in this game. Trey Turner with that incredible play.
Now you look at those two guys right there. Those are the two $300 million men. But when you see what they've done tonight, you tell yourself, yeah, that was worth it.
Take it when you can, right? And no bigger supporter of Trey Turner than Bryce Harper. Harper yesterday, and he does this all the time, was wearing a Trey Turner t-shirt for the workout as Johan Rojas strikes out. Iglesias, a strike throwing machine.
Man, they've taken advantage of a young Rojas tonight with these high velocity fastballs. And you said it'd be a young kid, the postseason, you can tell he's anxious trying to swing at it.
One closer to the other. Craig Kimbrell, the former Braves closer, entered the 400 save club this year. And he will get the 9th inning. Right now a save situation, 3-0. Ozuna, Harris, Arcia scheduled to hit.
And funny enough, Craig Kimbrell notched that 400 save at Truist Park against his former team.
Can the Phillies get to the finish line with their bullpen? That's why it was so important that they finished off their wild card series in 2 games. They only needed 7 pitchers in the 2 games. They got great starts from Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler. So and then they had 2 days off, Thursday and Friday. They came loaded for bear here tonight, and all of them have been excellent. Schwarber skies one. Acuna will make the call, and the inning is over, and the stage is set. Kimbrell back on the mound in Atlanta, trying to seal one up for the Phillies in game 1. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Braves led the majors in runs. The last time a team who led the majors in runs throughout the regular season shut out in game 1 of the postseason, 2001 Mariners. That was against Cleveland. Then you got to go back to the 35 Tigers. Atlanta was not shut out at home all year in the regular season. Only shut out twice. Both of those games on the road. Last time was May. And Craig Kimbrell, the former Brave closer, is on to try to nail it down here, facing Marcell Ozuna, and he deals him strike 1.
Everybody knows about Kimbrell. He's going to have that fastball at 95 to 96 with that knuckle curve.
Alabama native, made a name for himself with the Atlanta Braves. Drafted in 08 by the Braves. Didn't take him long to get to the big leagues. Was in a Braves uniform in the big leagues in 2010. Full-time closer in 2011. Set the rookie record for saves in a Braves uniform that year. Not just the Braves record, but the Major League record as well. Ozuna fouls it away. Count remains at 0 balls and 2 strikes.
I remember Craig Kimbrell came up. Billy Wagner was the closer at the time for the Atlanta Braves, and he said, "Yeah, I think you found your guy. You don't need me back."
Ozuna lined out his last time. Phillies get their 3rd run on a catcher's interference. And by the way, it is an RBI for Real Muto. Don't charge him with an at-bat. It officially goes as an E2, but he does get credit for the RBI. And now timeout is called. The clock was ticking.
Yeah.
And Real Muto pounces out and saves Kimbrell here. At least 1 ball.
Smart job. He can see the clock right there, and he popped up quick. And you talk about the Braves slug. That was the big thing we talked about in the Open, BA. First team to slug over 500. Tonight, 5 base hits for the Braves, all singles.
One and 2 the count. This crowd is quiet. 3-0 Phillies. Braves have had some moments in this game. A brilliant play by Turner to start a double play on Albies to end the 8th inning.
And that's the thing, even to just save the run. If you get 1 run, now all of a sudden you say all we need is 2.
Popped him up. Ranging over his start. And makes the play in foul territory. There is out number 1 for Craig Kimbrell. Kimbrell got the save in game 1 of the wild card series against Miami. Phillies came in here last year in the division series, won game 1. Trying to do the same in back-to-back seasons. And give themselves home field advantage. And there may be no advantage like the home field advantage at Citizens Bank Park.
Red October.
Place was rocking during the wild card series. Michael Harris ahead in the count, and a swing and a foul. It evens at 1-1.
Funny how it's so similar last year for the Phillies, winning 2. They had to go to St. Louis last year to win, but Ranger Suarez again getting that ball in game 1 here in Atlanta.
The 1-1 down and in. Max Fried scheduled to go game 2. Zach Wheeler will get the ball for the Phillies.
What a pitching matchup that's going to be.
Day off tomorrow, so another fresh bullpen for both managers. Fried's been dealing with a blister. By all accounts, it is all good. We'll see, though.
I know one thing. I don't think Rob Thompson's going to come out in the 4th inning and grab Zach Wheeler in a 0-0 game.
Now, Ranger Suarez was lifted with 2 outs in the 4th. He pitched well again. 6 relievers used starting in that 4th inning. Hot one over to first. And Harper goes to the bag for out number 2. And the Phillies are an out away from snatching game 1 of this best-of-5 series. Orlando Arcia, the last hope for Atlanta. Arcia had a single in the 5th inning. Braves with just 5 hits tonight on the first pitch. Fly ball to left. This should do it. Brandon Marsh coming in. He's got it, and the Philadelphia Phillies take game 1 on the road for the 2nd consecutive season. A 3-0 victory Trey Turner with a brilliant play. He and Stott turned the key double play in the 8th. And the Phillies, Jeff, strike first in this best of 5.
Well, the story to me was the job by Ranger Suarez to get it started. And then the bullpen for the Phillies be a 5 1/3, 4 hits. And for the first time this year, that Atlanta Braves offense was shut out at Truist Park.
Phillies have given themselves home field advantage. 3-0 in the postseason now. They're shaking hands on the field at Truist Park. We'll see you guys again on Monday at 5 Eastern right here on TBS for Game 2. After the break, we'll send it to Bob Costas and Ron Darling. They're in L.A. for Game 1 of the Diamondbacks-Dodgers. Phillies a winner. More baseball coming up here on TBS. So long, everyone.